What's up, rookies? Welcome to another snippet on what pharmacists do. Today, we're going to talk about industry again, but this time we are talking to an industry fellow. I have Libby here joining us. She's an entrepreneur and she's a pharmacy industry fellow who's on a mission to empower the next generation of pharmacists. Libby, thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
I am doing well, and I'm so excited to be here with you today and just excited to chat and share my story and see what
Yeah.
comes from our conversation.
Yes, I'm so excited. We've been virtual friends, long distance friends on social media for a couple of years now. So I'm truly really excited that we finally were able to carve out the time to have this conversation. So let's dive right in. Can you share with us how you came to choose pharmacy as a career path? What drew you to this field?
Yeah. So in high school, I loved chemistry, like absolutely loved it. It was like my
Yeah.
favorite class. I loved the teacher I had for chemistry. And so I thought, what can I do with chemistry that, is
Mhm.
gonna make me a pretty good living. So I thought about doing chemical engineering and I like brought it up to her and she was like, that's great and all, but have you considered pharmacy? She's like, I feel like that would be a better fit for you. And I had not considered pharmacy because I didn't know any pharmacists, really had no
Ah,
idea what they did.
yeah.
And so she brought that up and I was like, okay. I talked to my aunts. All my aunts are nurses. So I was like, okay, healthcare seems like maybe it could fit in the family.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, yeah, pharmacists are great. We love them at work. And they talked very highly of them. So
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like a visit to Purdue University and I saw I had like one session with chemical engineering and then the other half of the day I was with
Mm-hmm.
pharmacy. And I'll be honest, the chemical engineering session put me to sleep. And I was like, okay, so this is not for me. This is not it.
Good, good.
And then I went to the pharmacy session and they talked about all the different career options for pharmacists. And then we got to like compound like our own like hand lotion. And I was like, okay, this is more engaging. I think pharmacy is for me. And the more I continued to learn throughout like pre-pharmacy,
Mhm.
I was just so excited about the profession. And I was like, yep, I made the right choice.
All right. All right. See, yeah. So you have this passion for chemistry and you kind of try, to think, how can I apply chemistry into something that I'm passionate about and I'm going to make a living. So that's your passion. And then you ask questions, you ask around, which is these
Mhm.
are already good tips for people who are trying to figure out what to do. Our high school students, people just trying to switch career paths. If you're trying to figure out what to do, you have to talk to people. You have to talk to
Yes.
people and then you check it out. You went and checked out
Mhm.
chemical engineering and you checked out pharmacy and you just fell in love with pharmacy. So I've seen other people volunteer in pharmacy.
Mhm.
You gotta, test the waters and see if
Yes.
it's something that you're truly passionate about. All right, so that's a wonderful way to start. Now, can you tell us more about now that you're a pharmacist, and even as a student, over 3-4 years, however long it takes, you get to do what pharmacists do. You're an industry fellow now. What would you say? What aspects of the profession resonate with you? What do you like most about being a pharmacist?
My favorite thing about being a pharmacist is just like our wealth of skills that we can bring to literally any aspect of
Uh-huh.
healthcare. And it just makes me so excited. I feel like you can probably see it. Um, I
Yes.
love how versatile like our degree is. Like there's truly no limits for pharmacists, even though they want to
Yeah.
limit, what we're
Yeah.
allowed to do in our profession and our responsibilities as far as our license. Like there's really no limit for
There's
pharmacists.
no
We
limit.
can do so much.
Yes.
And I think that's what
Yes.
excites me, knowing that
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I'm in industry now and I'm in my current role, but like I can switch it up and change it up at any time because that's what
Hello.
pharmacists
Hello. Yes. Yes.
do.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that's what I love about pharmacy. It makes me so excited is all the opportunities.
It's the same thing that I like about pharmacists. And that's why I enjoy talking to pharmacists from various aspects of practice because you can apply your skills to anything. I've seen
Mhm.
pharmacy managers become CEO of hospitals. I've
Yep.
seen pharmacists lead county, health services. So
Mm-hmm.
management, industry, healthcare technology, finances. There's this pharmacist that talks about what's his anyway, he helps pharmacists get through their financial goals. And as a pharmacist,
Yes. Yep.
he has the skills to do this. So I can go on and on and on. Pharmacy school provides us with a lot of skills that we can hone in to whatever we're passionate in and make use of it. And just like you, that's one of my favorite things about being a pharmacist, hands down. But you're not just a pharmacist. You're also
Yes.
passionate about mentoring and empowering pharmacy students. Can you share how you do this and why it's so important to you?
Yeah. So I'll start with the why it's important and then the how.
Mm-hmm.
So as a first generation college student, like I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was very confused, very lost, and like just trying to find the resources. And then I found out about industry pharmacy and knew that I wanted to follow this like non-traditional path, and like there wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of guidance around that. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
I need someone who can sort of show me the ropes. Like, what am I doing? What's my goal? What things do I need to be doing
I see.
to get here? And so I sought out different mentors for different, seasons of my academic career. But
Yes. Yes.
all that I was able to accomplish was due to the mentorship that I received. And so my whole goal, my whole mission now, like I feel like my purpose is just to connect people with the resources they need to thrive. And that can be in any area, but specifically with pharmacy students, because I was
Yes.
that student that was very lost. And
Yes.
so it's so
Yes.
important for me to be the resource that I didn't have
Yes.
initially, because I
Yes.
did find my resources and I found my people. But
That's such a powerful why. It reminds me of the saying that if there's a community that you want to be involved in that doesn't exist, you gotta create it. So you found yourself um, with this need, this want of having a guide, a mentor,
mhm,
as a first generation college student, and there wasn't any structured way to do that, and you thought that, hey, why not, do what I can to do my little part to help other students in this situation through this process. So that is such a powerful why. And the second half that you're going to go over, sorry for interrupting, is
oh no.
how. How do you do
Yeah.
that? Yes, it's so important.
Yeah. And so, as I'm trying to be the mentor and the guide for other students,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure that like I empower them. So that's through like, of course, my social media content with Learn with Libby.
Yes.
In addition to like the different speaking engagements I get to do, I've been doing a lot lately, and it's so much fun to get to talk to students, answer their
Mm.
questions, and they're like, "How do I get started? How do I learn more?" And I'm like, "Oh, I remember when I was there. Like, here's all the things
Yes.
I did."
Yes.
And it's so
Yes.
so exciting to get to be part of their development. And
Mm-hmm.
then in addition, just like creating different resources for them.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
my one-on-one mentorship every Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m. I
Oh
just
my
sit and
gosh.
talk to students for 3 hours, and that's my evening. I love it. It gets me all fired up. It's like
We
my
say that
favorite thing in the
again
world.
because when Tuesday nights,
Tuesday
6
nights from 6 to 9
9 p.m.
p.m. Eastern
Okay.
time.
But Eastern time.
Yes.
Eastern time. And if anyone wants to schedule those sessions, they can go to your Instagram page at Learn with Libby, right? And click on that
Hmm.
link. I've seen that link. I've clicked on it
Yes.
myself and booked a one-on-one mentoring session. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, so you have your Instagram page where you share a lot of tips and in so many fun ways. You have various speaking engagements. I mean, look at you just getting started in your career and out there speaking in various settings to help guide and inspire pharmacy students. You did mention your one-on-one mentoring session, which is such a good idea. And I also saw resources that you have about like creating your own transition, something about transitioning from students to fellowship. So you do have some great resources on there, and I really encourage you guys to go out and check it out. Is there anything else that I missed or that you want to add?
Um, no, that's pretty much it. I mean, The only other thing I guess I didn't mention is sometimes, like, of course I have my own resources, but I also like, I'm not one to recreate the wheel. If there's a good resource that I vouch for, I'll also share that as well.
Yes,
So I've done that with a few different brand partnerships, which is fun.
yes, yes,
But I always have to try it myself before I tell anyone else to use it,
yes,
because
yes.
that's just how I operate with integrity.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you have speaking engagements, do you post them on your page too, in case anyone else, or those are more private where you get invited and then the talk
It
is
depends on the speaking
okay. Okay.
engagement. So if it is
I think the
something that
bottom
like
line
I'm
is
doing
just to follow
myself,
you and hang with you so that to see what's going on so we don't miss a beat. I'm already doing that. So I encourage all of you guys.
I appreciate it.
I encourage all of you guys to do that as well. Okay, so now can you tell us more about your role as a pharmacy industry fellow and how do you think that contributes to the field of pharmacy?
Yeah. So my role, I'm an oncology training and development fellow. And I'm the first one that my company has had, which is very exciting. And so
Oh,
it's nice being the first, getting to, as you've probably already heard, I'm kind of one that likes to forge my own path.
I
And
was gonna
so being the
say,
first fellow, I'm still forging
uh-huh.
my own path, and
Yeah,
getting to decide what this experience looks like for me, which is very, very exciting.
okay.
And so in that role, what I get to do is I get to train all the new hires, and I give them the resources and the tools they need to be successful in their job. And so that just relates to my passion
It
all
does.
over again, connecting people
Oh
with the
my
resources they need to
gosh.
thrive. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like this role was made for me. It's very fun. So I get to train, the sales folks on oncology who may have oncology experience, may not, and I get to teach them about that and provide the clinical perspective as a PharmD.
Mhm.
I also get to talk with, some healthcare professionals that now want to make the transition into industry, and I get to teach them on like what it looks from this side and like what their roles
Mhm.
might be,
Mhm.
and providing
Mhm.
them like the skills to already build on. They have the clinical skill set, but now we're going to take it a little bit further, and sort
Mhm.
of start to build their industry skill set. So we do different workshops and presentations there,
Mhm.
just to make sure that they can
Mhm.
they can start hit the ground running when they start, but then we also continue working with them
Mhm.
throughout their time with the company. So it's very
Okay.
fun. I get to
Okay.
have faces I know in all sorts of parts of the country and the world, and it's very exciting.
Oh my gosh. So you get to it it's a blessing really to have a role that you feel aligns with your passion and
Yes.
um training new
Mm-hmm.
hires and other healthcare providers or professionals transitioning to industry is already what you had struggled with, right? Transitioning from being a pharmacy student to getting into industry, and now that you are in industry, you're doing the same thing with other professionals. And I I industry really appeals to me. I know this is not a good reason to want to get into a career because you travel a lot and you get to dress up and people look up to you and listen when you speak. It's a really that's just me from the outside looking in. I feel like it's such a glamorous career path for pharmacy media. And I think just because I have such a busy life right now with little ones, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like when everything with the dust settles and things get a little quieter, it's something that I personally hope to look into and transition into. And I'm glad I already have in my network of
Yes, I was
people
gonna say reach
to
out.
I already have in my
Never
network
know
of
where I'll
people to
be.
reach out to, yeah, and get some tips and tricks on how to do well in this role. So that wasn't that was me summarizing what you said. Is there anything else that you want to add as far as your role as a pharmacy industry fellow?
I guess not about my role, but I guess like how it, helps the pharmacy
Pharmacy,
profession.
yes, especially this American Pharmacist Month. We gotta highlight this. That's
Absolutely.
that's so important today in October. So go ahead. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. I think the way it sort of um helps the profession is the fact that I get to be a PharmD in a room when there's not usually a whole lot of PharmDs. And so
Oh,
I get
I
to
love that.
advocate for the profession. They start seeing the value of what a
Yes,
PharmD can bring to the table and
yeah,
inviting more PharmDs into the conversations that they're having. And
yes.
so that was sort of my goal with going into industry, I'm interested in the business side because I did a business like management minor
Yeah.
throughout pharmacy school. And so I love business, like entrepreneurship. And so I want to be on the business side of things, but I want to come with my clinical knowledge. Like that's how I stand out from everyone
Hello.
else. I think
Yes.
we need more clinicians in the business aspect of healthcare. And so being that person is something that was really important to me. I love getting to provide that perspective that other people aren't thinking about. Like they haven't worked in a hospital as closely with doctors. You know, maybe they've had like a sales meeting with them for 5, 10, 15 minutes. But I've actually sat down, talked to doctors about patients. I see how that whole process works. So being able to provide that perspective has definitely helped a lot. And they recognize that value that PharmDs can bring to those more
Love
business
it.
conversations.
Love it. Love it. I love what you said about being the clinician in the business aspect of healthcare, and not just any clinician, but the PharmD, right? Because again, pharmacists is something that I've noticed by interacting. We're very quiet and we seldom raise our voice and speak up for the impact about the impact that we can have in literally any aspect of healthcare. And you, as a first generation college student, as someone who's passionate about training and mentoring and inspiring, having that mindset in that specific that particular setting of being in industry and being able to highlight your skills. And I know I can see you not just doing your job, but doing your job as I'm a pharmacist, remember that, and I can do it, and just know that other pharmacists can do it, and just call us when you need us. Pharmacists are very not good at speaking up, but when we are given an assignment, we jump right
We
on
exceed
and we
expectations every
exceed
time.
expectations. That we have to be able to also step up even when we're not asked and say, this is something that we can do. This is what we deserve. And no matter what field you're in. And that's what's going on with our friends in retail pharmacy right now. We have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of training, and all that we're asking for is the support staff from management and corporate, whatever it's called, to allow us to be that for our patients. And I think our friends are frustrated because they don't feel like they're given the time and the resources to apply their clinical skills to help the patients. And keeping that in mind in the industry setting, as you're saying all the time, as I'm that clinician, I'm that PharmD, and this is what I can do for you. It's really, really important to highlight this October, American Pharmacist Month. Thank you so much for that. It's really, that was a really cool way of putting it. So lastly, Libby, what advice would you give? Not that you're already doing that all the time, but let's do it right now on the Rookie Pharmacist podcast. What advice would you give to pharmacy students and pharmacists who are interested in following in your footsteps in industry and pursuing a career that empowers the next generation and makes a broader impact in our career?
Yeah. I'll say what I always say, but I'll follow it up with a bit more elaboration. Follow what excites you and the rest will fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
had a one-on-one with a lady in industry a few years ago now, and she told me, I was like, the more I learn about the past in industry, like I don't really know what I want to do. Everything sounds so exciting. And she was like, well, when you get that feeling in your stomach and something just like you get like a whole body reaction to it and you just want to keep learning more, and the more you read and you do, you get like so excited and you lose track of time. She was like, just keep following those things and everything else will just work out. And so I've just carried that with me
Yes. Yeah.
throughout. And I realized as I like reflect on all the things I've done even before I had that conversation with her, that's what I was doing. Every time I got involved with someone, every time I did another project, I was just following what excited me and what interests me for that time being, whether it be a season, whether it be, a few years, what have you. I was just following those things and it led me here. And it'll continue to lead me somewhere else.
It
And
will. It will. It will.
it will all work out the way it's supposed to. So I don't stress when, an opportunity, I miss an opportunity because I didn't really miss it. It just wasn't right for me at that
Oh my
time in
gosh.
that state.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just following what's exciting me, and the right opportunities will come my way. So I encourage every student, every pharmacist to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you will have, I mean, no one's career goes the way we plan. It's
You
just sort
can't
of,
plan it.
things just sort of line up and things
Yeah.
happen, and
Yeah.
life has a
Yeah.
funny way
Yes.
of
Yes.
working out, but it
Yes.
always works out.
Yes. Yes. So pretty much follow your heart, right? Follow your
Yes.
passion. And I'm sure you've heard it. If you do something that you love, are you really working? Right?
You'll never
It
work a
sounds
day in your life.
cliche, right? Like, oh, they say if you do something you love, if you never have to work a day in your life. It sounds really cliche, but I think that's what you're saying. You're saying that feel what lights you up and follow it.
Yeah.
It's really true. But how hard is it to do? Right. I don't think it's so easy to do because we are our own toughest critics, right? And we may feel, and I'm speaking about something that I've experienced myself, I may feel like, really, I think I'm just wasting my time talking to these pharmacists and asking them what they like about pharmacy. I don't really see what it's doing, but I don't really even see where it's going. But this is you and I, it's a Sunday afternoon, and we're sitting here talking about what we do as pharmacists. And I could do this all day, right? I don't know why. It's something I just love to do. And even though you don't know, I don't know where it's taking me. I don't know where it's going. I know I love doing it. And I know I'm sharing something that I love to share. And what you said was right on. Just keep going, just keep doing it. And the pieces will fall into place. And like you said, you cannot plan everything exactly. You can't plan life. You just have to put one foot in front of the other, right? And follow your heart, and it'll take you eventually to your destination. Such valuable insights, Libby. Thank you for sharing your journey, your passion for pharmacy, and your dedication to empowering the next generation of pharmacists. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Rookie Pharmacist Podcast. We'll be back soon with more inspiring stories and expert insights. But until then, take care, stay safe, stay curious, and stay blessed. Bye. Libby, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all these valuable pearls of wisdom. Love having you. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course.